Is up, everybody? Coming to you from Los Angeles, and I hope you're all doing great out there. Today, August the 14th, it's still morning, though it's about to be afternoon here in Los Angeles. I wanted to go ahead and talk about the Conor McGregor and Daniel Cormier feud that took place a couple days ago. Where Conor McGregor, I guess, wasn't really happy about how Daniel Cormier came and, said and talked about how the fight went down and said that, oh, he didn't like that the way DC described the way Conor McGregor pretty much lost the fight, saying that his leg was checked, whereas Conor is apparently saying that his leg wasn't checked from a kick and that it was obviously accidental. They went back and forth a little bit, but the point of it is Conor McGregor wasn't really happy whenever Daniel Cormier said that his leg was checked, and for some reason that really pissed him off a lot, and then he decided to go after Daniel Cormier. So, I mean, personally, I think he shouldn't have done that. Daniel Cormier is somebody that everybody loves. I think Daniel Cormier is somebody nobody should ever go after, because if you do, then the whole fan base is gonna come right back at you. So, um, I mean, for Connor to come out, and be calling DC a fat drunk, the guy that sells alcohol, calling somebody else drunk. Well, that's a little bit contradictory, right? And at the same time, we have Daniel Cormier, who's pretty much a legend, who was actually drunk in public. Whenever I think it was during one of the UFC shows where they actually showed, and he was just having a good time. And realistically, there's really nothing wrong with that. Everybody, tends to sometimes have a extra shot or two, and go a little out of hand, but guys, let's remember, life is about happiness, and if you want to be happy in the moment, then do what you please, right? So I think Connor could have avoided going after DC and kind of just avoided, replying to him at all, because I feel like Connor made this problem up for himself, because realistically, I mean, I'm sure Daniel was calling it, like he saw it, and I'm sure Daniel loves seeing Connor fight, but considering the fact that, Connor somehow was very offended by Daniel's commentating and probably what he saw at the time, saying that his leg was checked, and which caused Connor's ankle to break. Pretty much pissed Connor off, and decided that he would go after Daniel Cormier, which again I believe was not a good choice. But again, hey man, if you're selling whiskey, don't call other people a drunk. At least, man. I mean, yeah, DC, he was drunk, but hey, man, like I said, life is about, being happy and having fun in the first place, and, just doing what's right. So, DC was just having a good night, but, I guess, Connor was truly pissed off at DC, so, he decided to get whatever he can. So when he found out, that DC actually got drunk, he went ahead and talked smack about that. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, guys. I'm a Conor fan. I love Conor, but I believe this was a step that he should not have taken. And again, DC is somebody that everybody loves. Everybody will defend the guy. I mean, DC is just such a talented fighter. He's good all around. DC is just one of those guys that's loved by everybody. So the guy's a gentleman. I think he was personally just doing his job. I mean, believe me, I'm sure deep down, prior to all of this taking place, DC was a fan of Conor McGregor, and I'm very confident to say that. And as to whether he is now or not, then I doubt that. But oh man, it's so hot nowadays, right? They said July 2021 was like the hottest month of the Earth record or something. You guys can look that up. But so yeah, some type of smack talk taking place recently. We see Nate Diaz also going after Daniel. We see Nate Diaz also going after Dustin Poirier, saying, to step up and fight him because obviously that'll be a good fight for Nate. I'm not really sure what the UFC and Dustin are planning as to whether or not Dustin is gonna go on and fight for the belt, or whether there's gonna be another rematch immediately, or who Conor's gonna fight next. But I think a good fight for Conor right now would be against RDA. I know RDA was the backup for the Dustin and Conor fight, and I know that Conor ran into RDA and they had a little bit of a back and forth with each other too. So we'll definitely see what happens. Just like Uncle Dana says, right? Just like Henry Cejudo calls Dana White Uncle Dana. But yeah, guys. We'll see what happens. I feel like, honestly, one thing I can say, I feel like ever since Conor McGregor lost his third fight, this is gonna sound a little, well, this may sound true to some people and may not sound true to some, but I feel like Conor McGregor is actually slowly going back to the old Conor McGregor, where he really didn't care about his clout and the person in front of him who he would fight. And I feel like that was the Conor McGregor that brought him up to success. And I feel like right now, ever since that third loss, we were seeing the characteristics of that old Conor McGregor coming out into the public, which I believe is actually a good thing for him and the sport, considering we're going to see Conor fight again next year, sometime next year. But yeah, guys, UFC is such a fun sport. I feel like Conor McGregor can replace Colby Covington whenever he first came in, because I know when Colby Covington, when he first came in, wearing that Make America Great Again hat, everybody was hating on him. I mean, I actually liked him personally, but everybody else I talked to was just hating on Colby Covington. I'm like, man, this guy is actually going through his enemies, and there isn't a thing these guys can do about it. And ever since then, the hate against Colby has stopped, and people have decided to like him much more, and have begun to understand the guy more. But now Conor McGregor seems to be the guy taking Colby's old place, where everybody just hated him, no matter who you talk to or ask, especially after these events regarding him and Daniel Cormier. So I mean, DC, did fire back at Conor, saying, hey, don't worry about me. Worry about the guys that are going to beat you up inside the ring, which he obviously does have a point of. But I feel like something tells me the old Conor, legitimately, I feel like the old Conor is actually returning, and that we're going to be seeing something very cool and very spectacular the next time he fights, in which I'm assuming would probably be a victory, depending on who they put him against. Because believe me, the UFC, for one, does want to see Conor win, and for two, it will depend on who he's fighting as well. So, but realistically, for the Conor, for us to see Conor fight the next time, we are gonna have to wait that year that pretty much everybody's talking about, saying Conor's gonna be out for a year. Heck, I think he'd be out for more than a year, maybe about a year and 2-3 months. I'm sure the guy's not going to want to come back until he knows and is absolutely confident that he feels that he's ready to take some punishment and continue forward. So one thing I mentioned in previous videos where I talked about the Conor McGregor injury, I said that we still don't know how Chris Weidman would come back after that leg injury he suffered. So we're still waiting on that, but I just don't feel Chris Weidman would be the same, and I feel like Conor McGregor's injury was very similar to that, and realistically, I mean, I don't even know if that can be fully healed if he is to take kicks like that again, or to misstep like that again on his own foot. So I mean, it's really gonna be something for us to all just wait and see. But I feel like in terms of Conor McGregor's attitude and the current characteristics he's presenting, at least over the tweets, and what his reaction was right after the fight, even though he lost. I feel like the old Conor McGregor is, slowly beginning to kick in, and whether that'll be a good thing for him or not, I feel like it'll be a good thing. But I feel like it's good. It's only a matter of time until we actually find out about that. But I feel like it is a good thing for Conor McGregor, because I feel like I really do believe that it was his attitude, and it was him that put himself in the position to get the wins that he got against his opponents. Because when he was fighting Jose Aldo, a lot of people were saying, "Oh, this is Conor's toughest matchup. He's not gonna win this guy. He's gonna get knocked out." Knocks him out in 8 seconds, one punch. I mean, the people, I remember watching that fight live. Half of us were jumping up and down. The other half were just like in disbelief. They were just still standing there, like the fight was going on. Um, and then he went ahead and fought Eddie Alvarez, and they said, no, Eddie Alvarez is the guy, that's full of, a barrage of skills, that, he's going to bring against Conor McGregor and give him his toughest fight yet. And what did he do to him? He destroyed him. And so I feel like after all of these events, I feel like Conor McGregor actually decided to drift away from the sport of MMA and, focus more on money. He did the boxing MMA thing. And realistically, I don't think he's really cared enough ever to actually come out and get a win the way he did, because I feel like he just cared about his clout and his name too much. But I feel like after this third loss, something tells me that he kind of snapped out of that and is back to the old Conor McGregor, where he was actually, not really caring at all, because he wasn't really even there yet, and he was just actually just, going and just fighting and trying to just see how things would turn out. But the way he was fighting when he wouldn't really care was actually really good, and, really getting the best of his opponents and putting on a spectacular show for us, the fans. So Conor McGregor, I believe, is going to do much better the next time he fights than the previous times he's fought. Against Dustin Poirier. Now, who he's gonna fight, we still yet don't know. That's obviously for the UFC to decide. There's still, money considerations there too. I'm sure if you ask Conor, he wants to go against Dustin. But if you ask Dustin, well, depending on how the money is, he might also want to fight Conor McGregor again. But I'm sure if Conor McGregor wasn't Conor McGregor, I doubt Dustin would want to fight somebody a fourth time, right? So it's just the Conor McGregor factor in this fourth fight for Dustin, in terms of whether or not he is gonna decide to actually, go ahead and choose to fight him or not. But we'll have to wait and see ultimately as to what happens. But again, Conor McGregor kind of has to, and not make enemies, but keep his attitude the way it is, because I feel like that old attitude was what got him the victory. So going back to the whole Daniel Cormier feud, it's good that he's talking smack, but who he should be talking against is the people that he's gonna fight next, and just train in silence, while he's recovering from the leg injury. So I know he's training. He's doing like some dumbbell chest presses. I saw like a couple pictures of those. So yeah, guys. I mean, Conor seems dedicated to to come back and get the wins. I feel like right now is the perfect time for Conor to put all his money aside, put everything aside, and come back and rebuild his name. Cause I feel like Conor can do it, and I feel like it would be wise for him to do it, and I feel like he just might do it. So it's really exciting to just follow up with the current events in this crazy world of MMA, right? So let me know as to what you guys think. I doubt we'll see DC getting that drunk again, especially after what Conor said about him. I'm sure Dana said, "Hey man, but seriously, take it a little easy," because I actually saw DC, trying to do something whenever he was actually drunk on live TV, and I was like, "Yo, man, is this guy too drunk, or am I just, tripping out? But it turned out that he actually was drunk, and I actually don't think that'll happen next time. So I don't think we'll see DC like that again. So it looks like the two parties just may be taking a little bit of a lesson, from this little back and forth that they had with one another. So let me know as to what you guys think about this little whole DC and Conor McGregor feud. Is Conor McGregor back to his old attitude and his old style by defending himself wherever he can? And other than that, I really appreciate you guys for liking the video and subscribing. And up until my next video, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.